Hi guys, Tighebo here, and we are back with more Expected by Arctic Vulpix. And we're finally getting to FNAF 2, I believe. I don't know if it's officially night 1 or we're just being introduced to toys and the toys being introduced to the characters, sort of thing. Or we're officially starting night 1. I'm not too sure. But, anyway. As always with these videos, if you'd like to follow along, link to the chapter is in the description below, as always. And anyway, let's get started. Chapter 20, The Toys. The next few days passed quickly, and Ruby didn't see the new mechanic again. As expected, Bonnie had a near panic attack at the news, and Foxy went on a rampage through the building, while Chica went to hide in the kitchen. The remaining three were left to divide and conquer. Freddy went to comfort Chica, while Goldie went to calm Foxy down. Ruby stayed with Bonnie and talked to him in a gentle tone, mentioning what the kids were up to and how much Lift wanted to come visit again. He gave her a weak smile and apologized softly, which she waved off. She reached over and tugged on his ear, something that she'd started to do when she wanted his attention. Don't apologize, she murmured. It's not your fault. Nothing's going to happen. Not on my watch. He shot her a grateful look while she started refilling her glitter grenades. Needed to be spared, after all. The day of the toys' arrival, a Sunday, Ruby packed up her chosen weapons and went off early to hopefully arrive before anything actually happened. If she'd known what would happen, she would have arrived at the pizzeria that morning instead, just to be safe. Edie arrived as the place was closing up that evening. She was signing for the toys as the head mechanic, so she had to arrive early. As she wheeled herself in, she got greeted by a few employees who nervously wished her good luck. She resisted the urge to roll her eyes. These people were terrible at hiding anything, it seems. She hung around, studying a manual on the animatronics while she waited. The older animatronic systems were completely different from the toys, so she needed to read up on it. Thinking of the older models, she glanced out of the corner of her eye. Freddy seemed to be the only one cleaning the room she was in, seemingly ignoring her. Bonnie had bolted out of the room the moment he had seen her, while Chica followed close after. Foxy, on the other hand, had shot her a look that chilled her to the bone before stalking to his cove. She shivered again. She'd admit it. The fox terrified her. Not for the first time she felt her conviction waver slightly. Shaking her head, she went back to the manual, taking note of the employees skirting around the animatronic as they left. Eventually, Freddy finished and left the room, glancing back at her with an unreadable expression. Once he was gone, she put the book down inside. The main three were going to be on the stage in the main dining room as far as she knew, and Foxy would be in his cove. She turned her wheelchair and made her way to the kitchen where the loading doors were. That's where the truck would drop off the toys, and she would get them settled from there. She felt a little excitement ignite in her chest. She hadn't seen them since the repairs at the warehouse and was looking forward to it. While they had tried to kill her immediately, they were easily to befriend once they found out she wasn't a night guard. Edie paused a moment and frowned. The thought of the night guard making her nervous. While the strange girl had been rather intimidating, and the manic look in her eyes set her on edge, she was worried about the toys killing her. They seemed rather set on the goal. She sighed and rubbed her eyes. Well, she'd cross that bridge when she got there. Although she was kind of curious about the possessiveness the guard was displaying over the originals. Suddenly, her phone went off, interrupting her thoughts. Hello? She answered, continuing to wheel herself towards the kitchen. Yes, I'm here. Yes, I'll come and open the loading door now. She hung out with the delivery man and went to open the door. 20 minutes later, the toys were set up in one of the other two dining rooms in their depowered state while he signed off on the paperwork. Thank you, she smiled at the man who nodded his head. Where do you want this box? He asked, pointing at a large, colorful box. She pointed to the proper place, and he moved it for her before wishing her good night and leaving. Edie checked the time, 9:30, before she moved to turn the toys on. So, this is the new place, a dark voice asked from behind her. Edie rolled her eyes. The puppet always sounded so sinister when he spoke. Yeah, she answered, as she moved behind the animatronics. Was all he said before he disappeared back into his box. So antisocial, he thought, as she powered the toys on. Once she was done, they stretched and greeted her. We here! Oh, I can't wait to get started, Toy Chica gushed, and bubbled in her high-pitched voice. Mangold looked around nervously, sticking close to Edie. The poor fox's voice box still hadn't been fixed, since Edie couldn't find the right parts yet. Toy Bunny dropped down onto a nearby table with his guitar, eyes roaming the room curiously. Edie wasn't fooled, though. She could tell he was looking for an opportunity to cause trouble already. Toy Freddy stood next to the mechanic while she fussed over Mangold and kept an eye on Toy Bunny. Balloon Boy was already restlessly wandering the room. Good thing the doorknobs were too high for him to reach. So, what do you think of the place? Toy Freddy asked when Edie was done with checking that the transportation hadn't damaged Mangold further. She shrugged as all eyes fell on her, the puppet even peeking out of his box. The people seem nice, and the place seems to be doing well. She paused as she put her tools away, giving a stern glare to Bibi, who tried to steal her spare batteries. I meant the night guard. That got their attention. Oh, so they've got a night guard at the moment. Toy Bunny grinned mesh. Hold on, I've got this maliciously. Edie sighed as the others also looked excited. It was disturbing, even if she liked them. Yes. Manager says she's been working here for about 2 months now. She pursed her lips as she remembered Ruby again. They stared at her in disbelief. Those scrap heaps couldn't catch a night guard in 2 months? The puppet growled. Edie shrugged again. Where are they, anyway? Toy Bonnie glanced around. Still can't believe those antiques are still working. Toy Chica crossed her arms. Edie had a bad feeling that Ruby wasn't going to like how the toys spoke about the originals. They're in the other dining room, she explained, and the night guard is interesting. She frowned, unable to accurately describe the girl. The toys just brushed her off, though, and moved towards the door. Where are you going? She asked tiredly, already knowing the answer. To say hi, of course. Toy Bonnie grinned in a decidedly not friendly manner. Toy Chica nodded in agreement, while Toy Freddy shook his head in defeat. Not even 10 minutes, and already causing trouble, he muttered. Mangle looked at Cutie in concern, while she just shrugged. The night guard's not here at the moment, she reminded them. All the better. We can find out why she's still alive, Toy Bonnie responded cheerily. Edie smacked her forehead with her hand as she tried to stop herself from muting him again. Toy Freddy looked at her in pity. At least, not all of them were bloodthirsty. Just Toy Bonnie and Toy Chica. Oh, and the puppet. And maybe, but no one was really sure of him. Maggle was wringing her hands together nervously. While he would really like to work on the fox some more, he looked mostly whole again, but there were still some internal system problems. She really didn't want to spend her first night fighting animatronics back together. She sighed in defeat as she followed the group out the room. Maggle dawdled, but eventually followed. The puppet stayed in his box like the antisocial grump he was, mumbling something possessive about his music box. Guys, do you really have to fight right off the bat? He complained. No one said that this had to end in a fight, Toy Freddy assured her. Right, T-Bonnie? He eyed the rabbit until he got a grudging agreement. T-Chica? He turned his gaze on her as she reluctantly nodded too. Maggle didn't look too convinced, though. And then BB sprinted ahead of them, yelling some kind of weird battle cry. Or batteries. They weren't sure. Everyone groaned. He ran through the open door they were headed for, and the toys' groans were echoed by the inhabitants. Darn! Bonnie's voice came from the other side of the doorway. I was hoping that they would lose him in storage. Can still be arranged, Foxy muttered. Toy Bunny tried to stifle his snickers, but they all kind of agreed with the originals on their feelings for BB. Heidi rolled her eyes, taking a mental note to keep an eye out for the round robot's inevitable disappearance. This was going to end badly. She pinched a pinch of her nose as Toy Bunny and Toy Chica raced into the room to cause trouble. Ruby hummed happily to herself as she strolled to Freddy's. She'd scored a donut from the kitchen before she left, and had her favorite weapons in her bag. Despite what she knew was waiting for her at work, she felt like the night was off to a good start. That thought was blown out the window again, of course, when she walked into the middle of a full-on screaming match. Bonnie and Foxy were yelling at full volume at Toy Bonnie and Toy Chica, while Freddy pinched between his eyes, breathing through a headache. Chica stood next to him, wringing her hands in worry. Toy Foxy was cowering behind Edie, who was mimicking Freddy's posture. Toy Freddy was glaring at the argument and seemed to be debating pulling them apart physically. Ruby set her bag down quietly, a twitch already starting to bother her eye. She pulled out an air horn, put on some earplugs, and blasted the horn with a siren-like sound. When she finally stopped, everyone was gripping their heads in pain. Are you quite finished? She asked, raising an eyebrow as they all looked at her. The Toy's reaction was obviously hostile the moment they saw her improvised security cat, but she basically ignored them. She bit into her donut as she picked up her bag again and sauntered over to the group. What's got you guys all tied into a knot? She asked Foxy and Bonnie. Heidi and the toys watched her casual interaction in disbelief. Bonnie mumbled something unintelligible, glaring at his toy counterpart. Foxy, on the other hand side, made an effort to calm him down. Sorry, lass. High tension's blowing up. He turned to her. Did you have to use the air horn again, though? Chica groaned, while Freddy rubbed his head. She grinned at them. At least it wasn't the vent this time, she pointed out. Chica shrugged at the memory. What's going on here? Toy Freddy growled out, glaring at the group. The originals stiffened again, seeing the hostile glares focus on their night guard. Ruby, on the other hand, spun around with a beaming smile and gave a dramatic bow. Night Guard Ruby, at your service. So you're the Barbie doll animatronics. She tilted her head, smile holding no humor or friendliness. Toy Bunny began to sputter in anger, while Bonnie and Foxy tried to hold back their snickers. Ruby, don't start picking fights right after stopping one, Freddy sighed. Ruby held the toy's gaze a moment longer. Fine, but only until they do something stupid, she relented, spinning around to walk over to the originals again. Why are you acting so buddy-buddy? Toy Chica snapped at them, not liking being ignored. Ruby looked back at her and smiled. 'Cause we're friends, feather butt. The smaller chicken screeched at her and made to bounce forward. Toy Freddy grabbed her and glared at Ruby. Unfortunately, it's not 12 yet. The chicken shook in rage while Ruby shrugged and smirked. So, I'm guessing you want to start that game up again, she asked innocently. We haven't been playing it since I beat Night 6. She bit into her donut again while the toys processed this. You beat Night 6? Toy Bunny snorted disbelief. Ruby grinned. I'm still here, aren't I? Not squished in a suit. Katie shuddered at the casual way she spoke about death, while the toys stared at the strange night guard. If you think we're going to let them try and hurt you, you're wrong, lass. Foxy growled, eyes focused on the toys. The hostility in the air grew again. Ruby waved the air horn to get their attention again. Well, obviously there's going to inevitably be a confrontation of some sort. So, how about a deal? She leaned forward, excitement dancing in her eyes. The words were eerily reminiscent of her challenge with ghosts, so the bots fell silent, trusting her judgment. What are you? He tried to say, but was cut off by Toy Bunny. What deal? He asked, suspicious but excited. 1 week. She held up her finger. You get 1 week to kill me. If you can't do it by next Sunday, then you have to resign yourself to the fact that that I'm going to be sticking around and you can't try to kill me anymore. Ruby! He yelled in horror, but she ignored the mechanic. The toys looked at each other contemplatively for a moment. Why would we agree to this deal? Toy Freddy asked. Because if you do, my bots can't interfere for this week, she explained, grinning like the Cheshire Cat. Ruby, Chica murmured worriedly. The girl flashed her a reassuring smile as she fell quiet. The toys seemed to be seriously considering her offer. They glanced at the originals who were watching her in concern and realized in annoyance that they would protect her from them. For some reason they couldn't understand. Puppet! Toy Bonnie suddenly yelled. You won't get help if they help her. An annoyed voice yelled back. Don't mess up. Ruby stared at the door in confusion, while the other animatronics looked even more worried. They had been hoping that the puppet had been lost in storage too. Puppet? She murmured to herself, thinking of the Muppets now instead of the deadly animatronics. Fine. Toy Freddy turned back to glare at her. It seems like we have a deal. Her smile was rather disturbing as she stuck her hand out to him. Then we'll start tomorrow, so you can settle in tonight. She held his gaze as he finally shook her hand. Very well. He dropped her hand quickly. She turned to grin at Heidi then, smile still razor sharp. Welcome to the night shift, Heidi. The older girl felt a shiver run down her spine. The way she gambled her life so easily. So, how about introductions? Ruby clapped her hands together, smile losing its razor edge. You already know Freddy, Bonnie, Chica, and Foxy. I'm Ruby, the night guard and resident terror. He glanced at the toys before signing. Well, I'm Heidi, new mechanic. Bonnie flinched at the title. This is T. Freddy, T. Bonnie, T. Chica, and Mangle. Blue Boy is running around somewhere over the next room, and the puppet is in his box back in the dining room. She finished. Ruby tilted her head in confusion, hostility melting away a bit as she looked at the bot cowering behind Toy Freddy and Heidi. Mangled? No offense, but I thought you were Toy Foxy, she asked curiously. The fox made a distressed statistic-like sound, and cowered more. She used to be, but something happened, Heidi answered, firmly cutting off that conversation. She can't talk at the moment. I haven't finished the repairs yet. Ruby nodded slowly, and for a moment it looked like she was going to push the matter. Instead, she asked something else. So, the puppet, is he like a Muppet puppet, or what? She asked, sticking her hands in her pockets. The reaction was instantaneous. The bots, all of them, burst out laughing at the image that presented, and she grinned. Edie looked at her calculatingly, wondering just who she was. She switched from barely concealed threats to jokes in second, turning her life to casual banter. No. Bonnie finally managed to draw in a breath. Think more stick-thin clown. She pulled a face and stuck her tongue out. I'm not liking that image. The original gang chuckled again, and seemingly much calmer now that she was here. The toys were watching her in irritation now. He just watched her discreetly. Oh! Ruby looked like she was suddenly remembering something. We can't forget Goldie. Goldie? He asked. Who's that? Oi! Ghost Bear! Ruby hollered, voice echoing through the building. I've got the Harry Potter books! Goldie popped into existence in front of them in excitement, completely ignoring the toys. She grabbed the books from Ruby and began hugging them. Edie's jaw fell open. What? Heidi, meet Goldie. Goldie, the new mechanic Heidi, Ruby introduced, enjoying the look on the older girl's face. Yeah, I watched your interview with the manager. Goldie waved absently. You what? Heidi squeaked. Ghost Bear, Ruby explained. Not sure how it works. Anyway, who's Balloon Boy? The question was met with groans from both sides. Annoying as personified, Bonnie grumbled. Before she could ask any more questions, sudden annoyance appeared in the doorway. He spied Ruby and his eyes latched onto the torch she had clipped to her belt. Batteries! He screamed, racing forward towards her. The toys rolled their eyes and hoped it would freak the night guard out. Edie rubbed her face and wondered if she should have left him powered down. The bots waited in anticipation with grins. It happened in a second. Betty appeared from seemingly out of nowhere and connected solidly with the short bot. He went rolling head over heels back to the doorway where Ruby startled viciously. The moderately friendly girl from before gone in an instant. What is that? She bet out, waving the bat in a threatening manner with her eyes still fixed on her target. It looked like she was about to go beat him to a pulp. Beep, beep, the gang said in unison, while the toys and Heidi stared in shock. Ruby stared for a moment before relaxing slightly. Thought I said to him, bowling ball was running at me, she grumbled. That got another laugh out of her friends. She glanced at the toys while she slid the bat back into her bag. I don't react well to surprises, she shrugged. Goldie snorted. That's an understatement. Ruby grinned sheepishly. I did apologize. The girl in a suit grinned back at her while the toys started to move out of the room. They kept glancing back at the original gang, thrown off by the friendly attitude they had to the night guard. The night guard! As they reached the door, they found the puppet on the other side. He stared at them, waiting for information. They get along with the night guard, like, really well. They're not just helping her to annoy us. Toy Freddy sounded perplexed. Katie, nearby, rolled her eyes as she got to work on Mangle again. She had decided to stay in the room with Edie to see if she could find out anything else about the strange girl. She was still reeling from the possessed floating suit thing. What? The puppet hissed, and they flinched. No one liked it when the puppet got angry. He stalked into the room to confront the gang. 20 minutes later, there was glitter and paint everywhere, and the gang was hiding behind the table. The toys outside the room, and Ruby had locked the puppet up in the craft box. Wide-eyed, Edie poked her head out from behind Toy Freddy. What was that all about? She demanded, disturbed by the savagery the girl had displayed. Ruby had reacted before the puppet had even begun speaking and was currently sitting on top of the craft box, panting. She looked over at the others sheepishly. I don't like clowns, she admitted. Bad experience at one of my birthday parties. Plus, they're creepy. The gang seemed to accept this easily, shrugging and going back to their business as if this randomness was completely normal to them. The toys, however, wondered what they had gotten themselves into. Let me out, the puppet yelled. You're safer in there, Ruby pointed out. I have very poor self-control. And that's the end of chapter 20, so... And it looks like night 1's going to be next. But anyway, I hope you like this little gathering, I guess. This is a little peek of what to maybe expect for night 1, I'm guessing. Yeah, and I hope you enjoyed. If you did, make sure you go tell the author that. Don't tell me, although tell me what, I guess also tell me, but make sure if you do, tell them first. Because they write the story, and it might give them encouragement to do more. Although there is 100 chapters to get through, so. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, leave a like, and be sure to subscribe for more videos. I upload new videos every Friday, and I'll see you guys next Friday with a new video. Bye!